Hello, Nick. How are you?
Very well. It's Monday, isn't it?
It is. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that's good. We're enjoying the usual kind of dull weather in the north of England. I notice in London it's 26 degrees today and beautifully sunny.
Yes. However,
Never mind.
we're talking about targeting today because we've done
Yeah.
the three things you need to master. I'm going to talk about targeting, and I'm going to let you into a little secret.
Oh,
It's taken me until this weekend to work out the Tricres niche.
share it with our viewer.
I will do, because who you target is really, really important. It's not just about whether you are targeting your ideal customer or client, but it's working out who that is.
Yeah.
And it has taken 2 years to get to this conclusion, but we are, Tricres take businesses from the spare room to the boardroom. That's what we
Ooh,
do.
saucy.
It is saucy, isn't
That's
it?
nice. I like that. From the spare room to the boardroom. So people starting their own businesses at home and eventually building into a size where they go, hey, we're going to have some people around this table.
Absolutely. And we give them the toolkit to do that.
Wow. But it starts with targeting, because you can be sitting in your room, your spare room, going, okay, so I've got this thing, whether it's an ability to make birthday cakes or wash cars or provide accountancy services or training services or recruitment services. So who am I going to sell this to?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where your targeting starts, doesn't it?
Yeah. And can I also add something in there as well, is that action creates clarity. So neither of us been sitting about for 2 years twiddling our thumbs.
No.
We've been doing business, but we've been working with businesses, and
Yes.
we grow their businesses. So we've not been doing nothing.
No, you've got to do something.
And then you kind of work out who you're for.
That's right. You do. Can I give an example of this?
Go for it.
That was a rhetorical question.
I know you were going to say it anyway, Nick.
I was going to say it anyway. I don't know. When I talk about targeting, which is featured in my book, which is the model to sell, target, connect, meet, and ask. Ask being closing for the work, asking for the work. But the targeting starts first. Is that the analogy I use is, you can be thinking of starting your own business and you might be providing a service or a product to which at first instance your target market is huge. So the whole of the UK wants fantastic wedding cakes, or lots of people in the UK want their lawns mowing, or lots of people need accountancy services, but you can't target all of them. And this is analogous to turning up to an airport. You remember airports used to get on things, go to different places. Do you remember those?
Vaguely.
Yeah, okay. Going to an airport, looking at the departure screen and going the departure board, and going, wow, I can go anywhere. And you can. You could turn up at Heathrow Airport and you can go anywhere. And how exciting is that? But the fact is, you can only go to one place at a time. Mm-hmm. And in my experience, there are lots of people who are starting their own businesses or in business but have to sell but don't see themselves as salespeople, who take lots of action. In other words, going back to the airport, they'll walk from Terminal 1 to Terminal 5 to Terminal 3. They'll get near that gate, which is lots and lots of action, but they don't get anywhere, okay, because they don't know their end destination. If you know you want to be in Buenos Aires for Thursday morning, you work back from that, and that tells you the steps that you need to take in order to arrive at Buenos Aires airport on Thursday morning. That's brilliant. What you're saying at the beginning of this with the Tricres thing, and this is absolutely right, is you might end up in Buenos Aires and go, actually, this is not where I want to be. I think I want to be in South America, but I actually want to be in Lima, in Peru. And that's all right. But you only knew that by going to Buenos Aires, and you have to take action, you have to take steps, and it's in taking the steps, as you say, that you get the clarity. That's what you do. But if you're just having this, if you're having a scattergun approach, there's a lot of activity, but you just won't move and drive your sales forward.
Yeah. So I always knew we were for a particular type of business owner with a particular type of mindset. And I knew we were for the businesses that were kind of 0 to 10 million turnover. I always knew that, but the SME market is vast.
Yeah.
So we're for those businesses that, we'll take you from the spare room to the boardroom, and we're for small businesses with big ideas.
Yeah.
That's who we're for. And knowing that just got me up this morning, really excited.
I know. Well, you phoned me up at 9:30 this morning, all excited.
I did.
And I said, I can't, because I've just started the shower running, and this is an inconvenient time. But it's taken a long time to get there, hasn't it? Before you have that moment of like, oh my God, that's what, that's it.
That's it.
And
do you know
your Lima moment?
I did.
Peru.
But do you know the question I asked myself?
No, but I suspect you're going to tell me.
I am. That was a rhetorical question too. The question I might ask, and I actually wrote it down, if I were to know, what would our niche be? And then I went for a walk, and I thought, I'll sleep on it, and in the morning I'll have the answer. I didn't have to wait till the morning to have the answer. I sat bolt upright about 10 minutes after going to bed, put the light on, and my husband went, what are you doing? I went, I've got to write something down, because it had come to me.
But that's right. And so many people, I've heard so many people say this, you get your ideas when you're not really thinking about them. And absolutely, you should have a piece of paper and a pen in your bedside drawer to write down ideas. And when I'm teaching presentation skills, lots of people say, well, I'm not terribly creative. And I go, you are. And you have thoughts, it's just that you don't note them down.
Yeah.
Right? Next time you have a creative thought, write the bloody thing down. So that's perfect. Cool. I need to go on to a webinar now.
Same here. Have fun. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.